Does a good biopic even really have to be all that accurate? I mean, do we sacrifice truth for entertainment? Do we sacrifice truth for what people already believe that isn't necessarily true? I don't know. Do you guys know? I don't know. I have with me today Heather.
Hello.
And April.
Hey guys.
And this is You're Wrong, the Great Film Debate. And today we're going to be discussing biopics. Now, for the purpose of this discussion, biopic specifically means films about a person's life. So we're not talking about events in history, specifically people. So a film like the James Franco film James Dean counts, whereas The Big Short does not, because it was about a specific event, not people themselves. Alrighty, start off. Heather, what's your favourite biopic?
That
wasn't supposed to be a curveball.
At the moment, I'd say Walk the Line.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And for those at home who don't know what Walk the Line is?
It's a biopic about Johnny Cash and June Carter. Oh, mainly Johnny Cash, but she's a
It was about their romance.
Yeah.
Yeah, although it does follow his whole life. What about you, April? Your favourite biopic if you had to choose?
Well, easy. Mine is The Other Berlin Girl.
We did discuss that.
We argued that one.
I didn't argue at all. I said it was fun.
Yeah, it's great.
I did
It's
internally.
one of my favourites.
I haven't seen it, but I said it was fun.
It is
as a
one.
biopic.
I do really like
Two
that
sisters
movie.
bitching at each other. I love it.
And my
Fucking
favourite
the
biopic,
same guy, you know, it works.
As you do.
Yeah.
mine would have to be Captain America: The First Avenger. No, I think I'd have to go Walk the Line as well. It's,
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Cash fan. So.
I've got like ones. It's like categories. I've got like my favorite one in categories.
If I was allowed to say like event ones as well, I'd say The Big Short. Definitely my favorite true history film.
There's categories for this. Like I would go like just funny. One that I'd watch all the time would be Wolf of Wall Street, and my second would be Goodfellas.
I've not gone through Wolf of Wall Street yet.
Yeah,
I've sat down 3 times to watch it. It is such a long movie.
It's so good.
It's
bro.
so it doesn't.
So long.
We saw it at the cinemas. We walked out and we're like, Jesus Christ! It's been 3 hours. It felt like 90 minutes. Yeah. Is
I stopped
Goodfellas a
watching when it gets all
biopic?
sad.
Is Goodfellas a biopic? I thought that was fiction.
No, well, they class it as a biopic because of the main guy.
Right.
Yeah. Because at the end,
Yep.
it says like, you know,
It's a real person, but
These like because one of
All
them
my
died in
life,
prison.
I wanted
One
to
of
be
them
a gangster.
is still in prison.
Yeah.
losing
Well, just because they
whatever.
say it at the end of the movie doesn't mean it's right. But I get, yeah. I got confused.
And then there's like,
I'm easily confused.
if I want something that I'm going to cry at, there's Saving Mr. Banks or The
That's not a
Theory of
biopic.
Everything.
That
Yes,
doesn't
it
count.
is. It follows her.
It
and
doesn't,
her
but it's
life.
not about her. It goes back, sure, but it's not about her.
It
it's
is about her.
It's not about her.
It's about
It's
her.
about making the fucking movie.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. The Great Film Debate. Get out of it.
did you just go into an accent, like a Jersey accent?
Which one? When?
The
What
forget
did I-
about it. It just sounds like.
Get out of it.
Oh, get out of it.
Yeah, get out of it.
It just sounds like.
Get out of it.
Jesus Christ.
Why did the other bowling girl resonate with you, April?
It was just... I don't want to say it's a nice story, because it's pretty awful.
It's got Eric Banner in it. Can't be that
mean,
nice. Can't stand
It just flowed really well, and it was really nice. A nice story. It wasn't particularly true.
No.
It did. Okay, there were the main points were kind of.
I mean, there was a girl.
I
all
mean,
the stuff with
Her last name was
became-
Bolan.
Yeah, he fucked 2 sisters, married
Jesus.
them.
Well, he
killed one
didn't.
of
He
them.
didn't.
Which
he
one
didn't
was he? Was
marry.
he King Henry?
He didn't marry.
Yeah.
Mary.
Which one? Which Henry?
Henry VIII, the one that broke away from the
So he's
Catholic
the last
Church.
Henry.
Yeah. No.
I'm the
'cause
Pope now.
In real life,
He had so many children.
they try to get him in with Mary, but she just becomes a mistress, and he eventually writes her off,
Yeah.
and then they put Anne in.
The other sister in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just...
Was there anything
nice.
about its history that meant anything to you?
I mean, I'm all about history. I love history. Big
Yeah.
history buff. Sort of.
Kind of.
Well,
there's
I'm not very
fucking-
good at it, but I like it.
I like stuff. It's real. I like real
Um,
things. Any
yes.
particular history you're interested in? Any specific time? Some people are. I'm
big
far more
Greek.
interested in modern history. Okay,
Ancient
Greece, big country, been around a while. Anything in particular, like a specific era?
Let's go a little bit more ancient than you think.
Do we want like the back when the Greeks were gay before they were not gay and then became gay again?
I like those bathhouses.
Yeah. Hey, the Greeks were all about it. All right.
They were.
Ghost
All right,
baths.
I know
They
that.
were.
I know
They
that. And that's fine. You know?
So you're more into mythology.
If you like
I'm
ab-
Yeah, I
more
like
like
mythology.
mythology rather
Yeah, sure.
than like.
That's fake. That's not real.
Fuck off.
Who are you to say?
Exactly.
It's a religion,
I'm the Pope. I just said.
bitch.
Yeah. Mythology's fake, but.
It is fake. It's,
But you're
alright,
the
listen.
Pope. But you're the Pope. Really? You really?
I'm the Pope of my own church.
Anyway, we'll
So
stop.
why does
Keep
Walk the
going.
Line resonate with you, Heather?
I just really like. It doesn't necessarily resonate with me. It makes me have all the feels.
Excellent answers, by the way,
Yeah,
from
just-
everybody
Oh
involved.
yeah.
It just makes me have all the feels, and I liked some Johnny Cash songs, but I didn't really know all that much about
Yeah, you
him.
really. I wasn't allowed to
and-
put Cash on in the car.
I did like him, and then after, and I knew who June
Yeah, June Carter.
Carter was, but then I did want to watch the movie, but then I'm like, it's not really my
And I
thing.
conned you, just like all the other things you love.
Well, no, you asked, hey, I want to watch this, and I'm like, yeah, put it on.
Yeah.
That's conning. That's what the con is. And we sat down and watched it, and it was just great. Everything about it was just beautiful. It was brilliant.
Still not sold on Joaquin Phoenix's Cash.
No,
His voice was just too light. Cash had a real
Deep,
deep gravelly sound, and I thought Joaquin's was just a little too high. But you know, he's got no testicles. So.
I loved Reese Witherspoon for
Oh, she was great.
that
She really.
everything. Even
Did
when
great
she
job.
sang, it was just beautiful.
Well, I mean, I can't remember if she actually sang that part.
I thought
I know
she
Phoenix did.
I thought we'd looked it up, and they did. They sang their own.
I
she
don't
could sing.
remember. I mean,
Either
most,
or.
most,
Whoever
most actors
sang-
should be able to.
Yeah,
this point.
whoever sang Wildwood Flower did a great job.
Right.
But it was just a really nice thing, and they did not paint him in a lovely light.
No, well, you know, he was a drug addict and a drinker and
You know.
and religious, and those three things together, not great. That's
Leads
a real
you to
triple
drinking, adultery,
No.
drug addiction.
Had like 5 kids. One of them was with the wife he had by the end.
Yeah, but
Mind you, she had 2 kids before him as well.
because
Hey, country music, man, it's fucking, it's Sodom and Gomorrah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
but I thought it was
Jerry,
it was
Jerry
really
Lee
well
Lewis
done.
popped his head up and was a psycho.
Yeah. I can respect anyone that can rip a sink out from the wall.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I think, didn't we find out that was improv?
That
Not
whole
improv,
thing was
but yeah, he
improv, and they just let him do it
they were
because they're
just
like,
like,
"Who's gonna
Joaquin, stop!
Are they really going to stop someone?
You're
who's-
ruining the set.
Well, no, they're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
because the directors are, everyone on set's like, the fuck, we should run, and the director's like,
Director was James Mangold, by the way, same guy who directed Logan.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, he, you know, when he was directing Logan, he said a lot that, like Logan is basically the next Johnny Cash film. He said that he drew a lot of parallels between Cash and Wolverine, which I thought was a stretch. I'm like, yeah, I remember that
In the
whole
broad
period
sense
of
of stuff,
Johnny Cash's
maybe.
life where he was alive and all the other mutants were dead. I remember that. What?
You don't know his life.
Why
I
do
mean,
you like,
he
I was going to say, why do you like Walk the Line? But we pretty
I
much
mean, I'm
got
a big
that.
Cash fan,
Yeah.
and you know, I thought the acting was just really good. It's just a great film. And as I get older, I'm finding myself more and more interested in the truth of things. Not necessarily obsessed.
I was going to say, you should really watch a biopic if you want the truth of
Well,
things.
that's just it. That's the problem, isn't it? Like, it's a problem with literally anything that you consume. If you didn't prep it, it's like with food. Do you really trust the food that these strangers make for you? Truth is the exact same thing. I didn't prep it. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how it was made. Like, that frightens me a little bit. So
Don't fuck with the people that make your food.
it's a good jumping start, though.
Amen.
I find like you go to something like that and you go off of that and you find something interesting about it, and then you go seek out the rest. That's what I loved about The Big Short, was that it stuck as close as it could to the truth. And I know I said that the Big Short doesn't count, but as far as like truth in film goes, they were brutal, like fucking brutal. And it made me want to find out more about how it all went down. And I went and I did, and it's fucking terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, our country's doing it right now. The states have started doing it again as well, the CDOs, just calling them to something else. It's... There's something about... Like, so I don't really gravitate to any particular figure in, like, normal history. When I'm deciding if I want to watch a biopic, it's usually about a performer of some kind.
Yeah.
So a musician or an actor. So we watched My Week with Marilyn, which was fucking fascinating.
That was
Have
weird.
you seen it, April?
No.
Oh, it's weird. So I cannot remember the actress's name. I keep going to call her Newt Scamander.
It's
what's his name?
Eddie
the little
Redmayne.
weedy Eddie Redmayne, who I fucking hated for ages because of Jupiter Rising, Jupiter Ascending.
Which I didn't get. I liked it. It
He was a
trash,
shitty
but I
bad guy.
liked it.
He was a shitty villain. I love that the Wachowskis have only actually made one film that everybody liked, and now they've made 10, and still. Yeah, had him in it, and like the basis of the idea is that was he a journalist or was he an assistant?
He
wasn't a
was
journalist.
an assistant. No, he'd gotten a job on the set.
He got a set
was
on
an
the set of the
assistant,
film. He got a job on the set of the film that she was working on with Laurence Olivier. And it was a big prestige piece because like she's like this American starlet. Laurence Olivier was like this theatrical, this thespian god, basically, played by Kenneth Branagh, who was a little weird. He was fat.
Yeah. And it was really weird because it was like there was this big thing between them.
Big shit fight, yeah.
And because she would rock up late, there would be.
Well, she was unprofessional.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, he put money into this picture, as they called them back then, and you know, she was supposed to be like this legend, and she couldn't do her job. But the thing was, like, when you finally got through to her and you distilled down her performances, like, she always gave something raw. But she was a lunatic. She was an absolute psycho.
She was coddled. Absolutely
She was coddled
by,
because
like,
she was fragile.
everyone.
But she was already fragile. Like, you learn a little bit of her background, and that's what I loved about my week with Marilyn, is that it completely and utterly, when you think of Marilyn Monroe, you think of Happy Birthday, Mr. President. You think of, like, the vent thing. You think of, like, this sex icon, and this film stripped all of that away, I thought. And what I saw was a very young woman who, you know, it was a woman in every sense of the word. Yep, she had interest in men. She was pretty, but, like, she was incredibly damaged. And I thought it was interesting to see such a cultural icon stripped down to its most vulnerable. And then there's the whole post-credit scene where she's killed by the CIA.
I mean, if I wanted to watch something for the reality of it, I'd be watching a documentary.
Yeah, see, I don't even trust them. See,
No?
that's just it. With a film, I go in and I know I'm going to be handed some bullshit. And then it's like, if you find some truth, it's like icing for me. It's a pleasant surprise. I was entertained, and I also learned something. Like, yeah, I don't know. Whereas documentaries, I'm just skeptical the whole time. I'm like, well, whose idea was this? And I freak out the whole time. I'm not a calm person.
Yeah, but I'm looking for more truth in a documentary than I am in a biopic.
Well, yeah. But
Everything's
people-
just
that's why it's
loose
a huge
behind
disappointment
it.
when a documentary last year.
But this is the thing. People will go and pick up a biopic. Like, someone might go and pick up Jackie. That was about...
Jackie Kennedy, yeah.
Yeah, Jackie Kennedy. And
Great movie.
the one, the most recent one, the one that came out in...
The Natalie Portman one.
Yeah, help me here.
Fucking awesome performance, too.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. But
Who is it that doesn't like Natalie? Is it you who doesn't like Natalie Portman, April?
I enjoy Natalie Portman.
Who was it that doesn't like Natalie? It's Bonnie.
I feel like it was
Bonnie doesn't
Bonnie
like
because
Natalie
I feel
Portman.
like I've heard her and Rowan go round for round about why.
Well, you know, I won't say that. She might listen to this and get mad at me.
Better be listening.
But, like, yeah, someone might pick up Jackie, watch it and go, oh my God, this poor woman.
Oh my lord, I got a case of the vapors.
Yeah, like, and think of it as truth, like, you know, theory of everything.
Gospel truth, yeah.
Yeah. Because I've met people, I've worked with people that'll watch, because I think, I hadn't watched it yet. It was, Theory of Everything. And someone that I worked with at the time, they were like, take everything, every single little thing there was, you know, like gospel. And I'm like,
the theory of everything being the Stephen Hawking biopic.
Yeah.
With Eddie Redmayne.
And they stick the timeline wise and like the events in his life that happen. Yeah. And like they talk to Stephen and they talk to the wife. Like they do a bit of background research.
Did they have the orgies in it?
No. But in the end, it's still like it's
entertainment.
It's fiction. Like it's not, you know, like it's based on true events. It's not a documentary. It's based on true events. So you want to be entertained when you watch it, or you want to, you know, you pick it up. It's like you pick up a horror. I expect to be scared watching this. I pick up a thriller. I expect to be thinking and scared watching this.
You're not going to be entertained by something completely true because life can be fucking boring.
Life is boring
as
as
shit.
That shit. And things don't take well-timed dramatic turns.
Yeah.
Often they're horribly timed. Often you're like, I'm just starting out and I'm like, oh, everything's wrong and it's going to be wrong for 50 years moving on. Like, it sucks butthole. Anyway. Speaking of life, there was the James Dean movie called Life. With
That made me cry.
we talked about that. I didn't consider that a proper biopic because it was about their relationship.
You said the James Franco one.
Yeah. So have you seen Life?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
Yeah. Loved it.
Yeah, you thought it was yeah?
Yeah. I thought it was yeah.
What'd you think of Robert Pattinson in it?
Robert
He was
Pattinson.
a little weird. He was.
Twilight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I miss him actually.
What do you mean you miss him? He's around. He's
in
doing
he's in
massive.
He's in a bit actually.
He has
Like-
made a real name for himself.
I haven't seen him since the one he was gay in.
You'll have to be more specific. Twilight.
Yeah.
I'm just taking pot shots now. That's not
What
fair.
one are you talking about?
He was.
'Cause,
Oh,
He was sat behind like an altar maybe and was giving a guy a wristie or.
what?
Am I just?
Are you talking about that made-up trailer at the start of Tropic Thunder with Robert Downey Jr. and,
No.
and Tobey Maguire?
No, I can't think of what it
That's
is.
so bad. Sorry.
You right there, darling?
Oh, I just remembered it.
What was it called? The Devil's Advocate or something?
I don't know.
Fucking hell.
It was
What?
not
It was
alright.
behind an altar.
I'm picturing it.
I mean, he played
Put it in the
the guy with the pencil mustache.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
What was his name? I was talking to you about him the other day. He was a lunatic.
Like
he was a
this.
communist
Like this.
or something. Yeah, pencil mustache. Yeah.
It was really fucking.
Yeah, he had the really long, and he was a painter and a writer. Christ, I can't
I just remember
his
you
name.
talking about a murderer a couple of weeks ago. I don't know about
About a what? A murder?
a murderer. I don't know.
murderer?
Like the psychopath that.
Ted
like,
Bundy?
Yeah, him.
Oh yeah, I
I
went
remember
through
that, but
Ted
I
Bundy
didn't think
phase
Rob
the other week.
Pattinson played Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy was interesting.
For someone that doesn't like horror.
Zac Efron's gonna. I don't. Yeah, well, I watch some horror.
True.
I just, if it's really if it's a sophisticated horror, it's a thriller. And Ted, true crime's really different. Zodiac was really interesting.
I didn't think you weren't
It
classing
doesn't
Zodiac.
count as a biopic, but all right, maybe I should have just let it count. All right, biopic just changing the rules. Any ones that you hated?
Hated.
Yeah, or just stuff that you didn't like, didn't think was accurate, or was disappointing.
Mostly about events.
Yeah,
I don't really know what's true and what's not true in a person's life
yeah.
unless I've read.
Not a big fan of
I
movies
lo-
about the suffragette
I,
movement, I assume.
I got really excited when The Runaways was coming out.
Yeah.
'cause
Oh,
James-
yeah.
I got
love The
really
Runaways.
excited, and then I watched it, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, she was a cunt. Like,
Which
what?
one?
Oh, I can't say that.
Cherie Curry. She was a
I
vagine.
broke my rule.
In a meeting, Heather's like, "Hey, now no more cunts on the fucking podcast." I reckon. I'm
No
like,
more,
"That's
like,
the whole company." And she's
A
like, "No,
barrage
the word."
of cunts, and not the whole company. It was the barrage. It was the wide and loose use.
I'm not allowed to open the podcast with. No, I won't. I'm getting the evil eye.
No, yeah, but I didn't like because that's meant to be a biopic from the point of view of.
I've forgotten what we're
Sherry.
talking about.
Sherry,
Runaways. yes,
Runaways.
And I'm like,
If that
that's
was based on her book,
not-
she did not portray herself very well at all.
Oh, that in Runaways is like the nicest. She comes off like looking like someone who's learnt a lot, and then at a younger
didn't get
age,
that.
and I'm like,
I didn't get that at all.
fuck no. By the end of it,
I got that as like this is somebody who ended up like a washed-up heroin addict.
Well, see,
she
I
did
didn't know-
look. She did something with her life afterwards, but like,
Yeah, she wrote a book about what a
she
cunt
made
she
it.
was.
And
Sad
but she
idea,
pointed. She also like. She pointed a lot of blame at like the
Michael Shannon's character, the agent, manager.
And
You gotta get
on
a
the
manager.
the other girls in the group as well, and
It's
like
never anyone's fault. But
yeah,
Everything's always everybody's fault.
yeah.
but
I don't
Everyone
know.
else's fault.
yeah, but I didn't like it as an
As a piece
actual
of truth.
portrayal. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
so I
like
didn't actually
it's,
know any of her history, so
Okay,
like, you
alright.
wouldn't-
It's easy to go in
true,
when you don't
but-
know, yeah.
Like, cause I watch
It was
it, like I
interesting.
don't mind it, but I've got to think of it to enjoy it. I've got to think of it as two separate things
Yeah.
and not watch the last 5 minutes.
I can't think of one that I didn't like. I know I've watched one that I enjoyed and then I found out it was super inaccurate or something, but I cannot remember what it was. Yeah, I don't know. April, anything let you down?
well, like Eat, Pray, Love. I don't know.
Is that a biopic?
Yeah,
I thought it was
It's
a
about
book.
the main woman.
I thought it was a book.
It is a book.
it is
Is
a
the
book, but
book
it's
a
based on this
bio
woman's.
It is.
A biography?
It is most.
Autobiography.
Yeah.
It's not an auto. It's It is because it's about her and it's about her journey. So she is like the only main character that travels
Yeah.
3 countries. And
Sounds like it's about an event, so it's not a biopic. Oh, yeah,
It's
I
not.
changed
It's not an
that.
event.
I changed that rule.
It's a whole period of time in her life. Like it
Yeah.
is. It's like
she got divorced.
it's from
and
the
then she
yeah. It's
is
from
dead.
her divorce until the end of this trip.
She
So
meets a
yeah.
body in Bali, as you do.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed back in the country, actually.
It was just like,
But
ugh. It's like trying to get everyone to go and do what she did. And
is there a
Yeah.
musical number at the end?
oh, I feel like it.
I like the movie just as a bit of fiction, like just as a movie. It's
If it was
fine.
just- yeah.
Saying if it's not real, it's okay, but if it's real, like get the fuck out of here.
Don't try and don't try and tell me it's something that it's not, because and like I can enjoy it knowing, all right, I'm not going to take all of this as
Yeah.
fact, but like I said before, people do take this shit as fact, and then they'll argue with you for 10 minutes over something really fucking stupid.
I have met people on the road, like overseas and things, that have the book with them.
Oh no! Don't
They
be
are
that
taking
person.
the pilgrimage.
The
That
pilgrimage.
is
Eat, pray, love.
Well, I'm so glad that A Tale of Individuality has created so much lack of individuality.
But just don't sit there and fucking tell me it's all this and then it's all good by the end. It's not all good
Yeah.
by the end. Like Johnny Cash, he's saying walk the line. It's like, yeah, he ends up with
You gotta
June
walk the
Carter,
line, Johnny.
and he does go to rehab and he does this and that. But he struggled
He goes to rehab
until
a
he
few
died.
times
He
in his
struggled
life.
with amphetamine abuse. You know, he still drank. He
Yeah,
still
but
did
she
all this
stayed with
stuff.
him.
Yeah. But that's just it. You don't. But by the
Love
end of
is
the
messy.
movie, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, he stayed sober and he did this and that. And
Does
he
it
was
really
a-
say that
and it's
though,
just
or
like-
is it just?
Well, they have to give you a good
It
ending.
hints at it. It hints
I mean,
at it.
and they do talk about the fact that he had an affair, or he tried to.
He had
anyway.
multiple
tried to.
affairs.
Like,
He had multiple affairs.
well, with her though, specifically with this woman, that would be his wife for the rest of his life.
Oh, but she didn't.
No, but he,
she never.
It
really,
It does not portray him as.
It doesn't
you know,
portray him in a good light. I'm not saying that, but
you
what
know,
I'm saying is,
it's
you
a
know,
pretty
in a
brutal
movie,
light.
you've got to come to an end. Otherwise, your audience isn't gonna
I remember reading
like it.
a thing. It was like a little interview with one of his daughters from the previous marriage, because they had one. They had one son, John Carter Cash,
Yeah,
and she had
she had two
she had
daughters,
two daughters,
two
and
husbands,
he had 2 sons.
No. He had.
He had 2 daughters to
yeah.
his previous wife that he
No,
married.
3. It was 3.
3 daughters.
3 daughters to his
That he
previous,
married
yeah.
from the wife he married in 51. And one of the daughters was talking about how she saw the film, and she said it was super confronting seeing this version of her father and like the history of it. So yeah, that's
Because all the children speak of him very very beautifully, even when.
well,
they
no,
were,
not all of them. There's he was an
Sorry,
alcoholic drug
I should
abuser.
say the things that I've seen.
He was an alcoholic drug abuser. Like at the end of the day, you're not going to have perfect memories of your father, even if he was a loving father.
Yeah.
All the God in the world doesn't beat the evil out of drug abuse. I just remembered another biopic I really liked. Ed Wood. Not accurate at all.
I'm surprised. Well, event-wise.
Personality wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Ed Wood?
I have not.
So do you know who Ed Wood was?
Which Ed Wood are you talking about?
Edward D. Wood Jr. He was a filmmaker. He made Plan 9 from Outer Space in the 50s. No idea? So he is billed as the worst director of all time. Eat shit, you bowl, I guess. He basically made like B-grade films in the 50s and that. But he reached like acclaim towards after his death. It's kind of like, The Room, the Tommy Wiseau thing. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that. He was like the original Tommy Wiseau because
Except
regardless
he had
of
to die before people
yeah,
got into
except
it.
like regardless of the fact that he made terrible art, people became drawn to his passion and just the absolute not ruthlessness, but like the appetite he had for creation, even if it was bad. And it's a really quirky film. Johnny Depp and Tim Burton. And it's just sweet. It's just a really sweet film. I want everybody at the company to watch it together one day because it's a really good message about persevering and creating the things you love in the face of adversity and stuff like that. But it's funny. So they paint Ed Wood in a slightly better light than he was in real life. They cut out they cut out a bit of his alcohol abuse and stuff like that. But they paint Bela Lugosi, if you remember him, at all. He was like
was
a
like
Hammer horror classic.
The
He was
original
Dracula.
Dracula.
Yeah, you can.
They paint
Jesus.
Bela Lugosi in a really negative light, which he wasn't. Like they painted
I
him as like a
wouldn't
loner
say
and
negative, but
well, yeah,
like,
he was a morphine addict, but he wasn't like on his own and stuff when he died. Like he was married and that.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't completely.
He had like 8 marriages.
Yeah,
Like,
wow. Yeah. But yeah, like the end of his life, he like lost all his work and stuff. Like they in the film they paint him as like bitter about Boris Karloff for taking the Frankenstein role and things like that. But Ed Wood comes out and like finds him and brings him onto the set because he needed the money. And it's a really interesting little thing between them as well. Like Martin Landau got a Oscar for it for playing Bela Lugosi, a very well fucking deserved one too. But I like that one as an example because it's not just, you know, subverting the truth for entertainment. It's subverting it in a way that speaks to the character. The optimism throughout that whole film isn't just inaccurate. It's a reflection of who he was as a person and a filmmaker, which I think kind of helps you get away with it a little bit. I mean, how much truth do you really want in a biopic?
Yeah.
What do you really want? If you know the truth, it can be jarring when you find a lie
Yeah.
or a dramatization may not have happened.
It's more an annoying. My standpoint is just more of an annoyance.
I just want to be
really.
entertained.
Yeah,
That's what you gotta see a movie for, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
it's true.
To make
What,
sure
if
that
you want
you're happy
truth,
with-
watch a documentary.
Do your research, read 20 books, and see if you can find the truth out of it all.
Yeah.
There's a book at the moment called Cuba, New History, that's apparently like the most accurate history of the whole Cuban country.
Yeah.
And apparently, I know I'm getting old because I want the book. Never shown any interest whatsoever
In
in
Cuba.
modern history at all, any history at all. I had some interest in Cuba because we learned about the Cuban Missile Crisis and stuff in school. But I just didn't give a shit. And now I'm like, I want to know the truth. The truth is out there.
I know we're running over, but there is just one more movie that I wanted to bring up, and that was Kenzie.
Kinsey, yeah.
Yeah.
Did
that
you
was
know
a
Kinsey?
good movie.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you
That's
seen
got,
it?
Um.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I
Fucking
saw
weird.
like an hour of it.
That was a weird
How
movie.
could you not sit through the rest of that?
Hey, you know what? John Lithgow.
It's dope.
Hey, listen. John Lithgow as a homophobe is very confronting. That's the High Commander.
That is the High Commander.
I think we might wrap this up. Any final thoughts? Any more shout-outs to any movies you guys want to give out? Recommendations to the audience? No? Okay, go watch Ed Wood, you bastards. You want me to read the list? No, give me the list. Give me the list. Give me the list.
No,
Let's
no.
see how fast I can get through this. No, give me the fucking list.
I wouldn't really recommend all of them, but like these are biopics.
Ed Wood, The Imitation Game, Man on the Moon, Walk the Line, King's Speech, Milk, The Theory of Everything, I, Tonya, The Social Network, Wolf of Wall Street, Blindside, Catch Me If You Can, Goodfellas, Cross-Eyed JFK, Jackie, Lion, 127 Hours, The Runaways, Lawless, Diana, Behind the Candelabra, Saving Mr. Banks, 12 Years a Slave, Concussion, Life, The Danish Girl, Eddie the Eagle, The Founder, Goodbye Christopher Robin, Chopper, James Dean, Alexander, Finding Neverland, Kinsey, Marie Antoinette, Pursuit of Happiness, My Week with Marilyn, Becoming Jane, The Other Bowling Girl, Julie and Julia, and Dangerous Method. Was
You just wanted to do that because you know I'll have to put all
that'll
the
be
posters
fucking
in there.
fun as hell. Was G.I. Jane true?
I don't think it was. I didn't think
Not
it was
particularly.
based on any
Alright.
big thing. I don't know. It wasn't in my research.
Let's
but-
play a little game. I'm going to say, what's your favourite biopic? Say a film that's not a biopic that you just think would be funny. Go. What's your favourite biopic, Heather?
Twilight.
What's your favourite biopic, April? I did not like the way. That was a very unfair portrayal of Carlisle. What about you, April? What's your favourite biopic?
That's why I did it. Just
Spider-Man.
My favourite biopic would be definitely Truman Show.
I thought you were gonna go Jurassic Park because I just love Jurassic
Oh,
Park.
that would have been good.
Jurassic
Change
Park.
it.
No, I like the Truman Show because it could be real.
It could be real.
It could
man.
happen.
It is so real. Man.
Jim
All I-
Carrey.
All I want is like one superhero to be real, and so like the destruction that they
You
have.
got me.
I want
He does create
I want a
destruction
movie
wherever
about-
he
Alright,
goes.
fixing the city back.
What?
Fucking New York has been destroyed how many times?
Oh, it's
In-
about to be
wait, hang
destroyed
on, in
again.
superhero
Come the
movies or in real life?
5th of April.
Wait, what? You said you wanted
In
a real...
movies,
What did
but,
you want
like-
about a superhero?
to fix it all up.
Oh, you want a guy who fixes stuff? That's Bruce Wayne. He does it with all his money.
Yeah,
Except it's
okay.
Ben Affleck, so he doesn't because he's a selfish sod.
Ben Affleck.
I don't know.
Oh.
Tony Stark does a lot of fixing shit. He put that little belt buckle on the pipe to give the Avenger Tower free money. Was it something like that? I wasn't paying attention.
Congratulations.
Good on you, Stark. He's dead. Absolutely dead. Infinity War Part 1. I guarantee it. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching and listening and all that good shit. If you liked it, even if you didn't, go ahead and like and subscribe. Check out our other videos. Check us out on Facebook. Check out our website, secret-source.media. And we'll see you guys next time, hopefully. I'm Dylan.
I'm Heather.
I'm April.
And this is Jurong, the Great Film Debate. Bye.
Laters.
Bye.